What's up, everybody? We're going to cover Bitcoin. It's just been consolidating and chopping. We're going to dive right into the analysis. We just got back to Canada. We're preparing for the largest Bitcoin event in a few weeks, and we're flying one person out. Let's get right into the BTC analysis. For checking out the channel. Every day we put out a new video about cryptocurrency education, markets, giveaways, and more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. Now let's go to the moon. As you can see, we have a bear Bitcoin chart, so I'm going to chart it up with you guys together to show you the resistances we need to break, and if not, where Bitcoin may be headed. We're also going to do some on-chain analysis by Willy Woo. He's closing down his newsletter, so I'm going to share one of his last ones with you, and it was released, I think, yesterday while we were traveling. And before we get started, I need to shout this out because there's only 7 days left. The largest Bitcoin Miami event happening in Miami in a few weeks. We're flying one person out. Go check out this video right here and then go sign up for the giveaway, a free flight, 5 nights, and then obviously your Bitcoin Miami ticket, which we have some of the largest, influencers. We have some of the largest Bitcoin people that are going to be there. You don't want to miss out. So before we hop into price and start charting this up together, let's go into some of the on-chain analysis given by Willy Woo. So Willy Woo is in the mindset that he thinks that we are looking for a reversal zone, that we may need a few weeks, a month or two for a reversal, and we may see a capitulation period, and I'll explain that. So we may see a sell-off before we get to those higher highs. So we're seeing a significant uptick in holders. You can see that right here, where holders are moving up while calendar futures and price are, well, the futures are moving down. That's obvious, but the price has just been chopping. We're going to go into what I think the pattern Bitcoin's been playing. So you can take a look at this. In the last 48 hours, it's been significant jump in demand from holders. Most of this came from coins scooped off of Coinbase exchange. So we're seeing a divergence, and when we've seen larger divergences, we see a huge explosion in price. Also, he's noting the Bitcoin holder strength right here. This is not as important. I want to show you guys the ones below, but the chart below shows the strength of holders in an oscillator view. I've marked in green prior regions when holders are in significant accumulation strength nearly always respond in bullishness in price, or at least maintaining a sideways price action if the trend is bullish. So you can see right here all of the past examples, especially here, we just exploded in price. So we haven't had any strong Bitcoin holder strength for the last few months, and now we are seeing it at highs. So we are seeing a change in trend. Whales are still selling. So in contrast to the holder view above, below is the 30-day sum of coins moved to and from whales. Whales have been selling off and maintain their bearish sell down. I posted a chart to show you how the market has mixed signals right now. This often happens in transitional phases. So it's been clear that we've been in this huge downtrend from $69,000. So we need some sort of reversal pattern, or what Willie's saying, we need like a capitulation event where we see a massive sell-off and see some type of recovery, hopefully like a V-shaped recovery, and then we just start working our way in that uptrend to break all-time highs. Demand is slowly returning. Below is a chart of coins moving to and from holders over a 50-day moving average, which gives a decent macro picture. You can see it's slowly been transitioning. So he's in search for capitulation. And this is what I wanted to mention. All prior BTC markets have ended in a capitulation event where inexperienced investors sell out as price free falls. You do not want to be that person. This is followed by an accumulation phase before the next bull market can engage. This chart below is something new I've been working on, and it looks on-chain to access the average price that short-term investors entered and charts the daily change in this value. In capitulation events, the cost basis drops dramatically and experienced investors dump their coins to experienced buyers, signaling the bottom. If you're margin trading, that's when you hit that 5 or 10x leverage. If you're degen, 20, 30, 40, 50x, hundreds, just reckless. I mean, anything over 10's pretty crazy, honestly. So let's take a look at this chart. So you can see the last times we've capitulated, then we slowly got into this accumulation phase. This, in my opinion, was the whole accumulation phase until it broke out. So, and we don't get these signals much. This is 2015, this is 2019, and this was this huge descending triangle pattern. You can see lower low, lower high, lower high, lower high, while holding that support, and then we eventually broke down. That was like, I mean, I'll never forget this huge pattern right here. Everybody was like trying to short the break, and it just happened here. From 6,500 to like 3,500, and then you can see accumulation phase, this whole zone, and then it worked its way back up. This was COVID, yeah, March 2020, the COVID drop, V-shaped recovery, and then broke into all-time highs. And this was one of the larger drops in the 2021 bull market. And now Willie was pointing this out. Is this the bottom? Is this the capitulation that we needed? Or are we going to see a lower move to the downside? You can see like we're holding pretty good with what's going on in the world right now. Let's go in the chart. I've marked the last bear market capitulation. So it's inconclusive whether we have capitulated yet. There's room for another drop based on the signal. And then when dump, when moon, I think that is all. One thing that is consistent in markets is that times of low volatility lead to large breakouts and major price moves. Below is a chart of BTC price stability. We can see that the market is still quite choppy and not typically in a zone where we do see a significant breakout move. So that goes in with his thesis that he thinks we're transitioning and it's going to be a few weeks, maybe a few months before we really break out. So we'll jump to the charts right now. And these are the zones. This is what I wanted to play out. And the charts, they relate back to on-chain analysis, because the same things I see on here are some of the things he's saying. Obviously, I can't see holder counts and how many people are selling and the inflows and outflows and things like that. But we are seeing major resistance here. So I'm going to draw this with you guys so you guys can see like how I'm doing this. So I have, and multiple people drew different trend lines, but we're in this prolonged downtrend from $69,000, and you can see we're making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and this is the lower high to note right here. This is the important one that we need to break. So let me highlight that. So you can see that we're in a clear downtrend right here. Clear downtrend. And then we broke the trend line, and I thought, okay, this is the area. And if you've been in the Discord or watching the YouTube, I've been watching, this is the zone that I said I'm looking for us to break. We need to break this lower high. So we need to essentially, let me get my brush. We need to not test it like we've done so here and got rejected, like we've done so here and got rejected. We need to actually break above this resistance. We need to invalidate, break above, look for something like this, and then keep going up. If not, we are going to come back and then, break back down. The more times we test this, the more likely it's going to break. Imagine like, a play wall or something like that, and you keep running into it, and the more times you run into it, maybe the 10th time it'll break. But let me get back to my arrow. My trend line actually. So I'm also noticing a huge, so let me draw this like this potentially. I could do it from, okay, I like that better. I do it from the candles. So you can see that we're also now playing out an ascending triangle. An ascending triangle would be a huge move for us to break above here. An ascending triangle, we're putting in higher lows, so you can see right here, higher lows right here. And just in the last day, so yesterday, we bounced off this trend line and we got a huge bullish engulfing candle on the trend line. So it looks like we might bounce back, and this would kind of be the first area I'm looking for us to break through, and it's probably around here. You can see major support, resistance, support, resistance. So kind of looking for this 41K. And I remember the 41K actually. This is a huge area. Yeah, if we zoom out, look at this. resistance, pretty much resistance, resistance, support. We tapped there, support. So this area, if we can break 41K on this move, I think that we may be looking to test these lows. When we start breaking like this low and this low, then I am less confident in the Bitcoin, in the strength of the move to the upward side, like because we're just making lower lows, like, and then this ascending triangle has been invalidated. So I'm looking for 41K to be broken. If we break 45K and we trade above it and then move up, my next target was $53,000, approximately right here, I believe. Yeah, at the next pretty much major lower high that we made on the downtrend. So right here and here. Same kind of area we're seeing here where we're trying to break this lower high and we're seeing some major resistance. So if we break above, we'd be trying to break this next lower high, and we have like huge resistance here. I also used my fibs. Was it on the weekly? We'll go back to the daily actually. No, we'll flip back to the weekly. So I want to check out the moving averages as well. I want this week to finish off strong because these are ugly weekly candles. Like this right here, horrible. You can see that we just dumped. This isn't great. This is because like we're pushing up, and this should tell you a lot. We're pushing up in price, and then the sell pressure is just way stronger. It's pushed us all the way back down. Same thing here. We try to push up in price, hit that 41K, that 41.5K, and now we get reduced. We get a ton of sell pressure. We just give it back to the market. So I'm hoping for this green candle to kind of be a huge one, something like we did here, and kind of engulf all of these wicks, and then for us to break to the upside. If we put on the moving averages, I'm looking for that 4 or 9 crossover to give us that ultimate buy signal, and that's where I'll be very confident. We got a whipsaw on the daily. I was selling Bitcoin, buying and selling Bitcoin. When I say sell Bitcoin, I'm just taking my trading signal and I'm looking to buy on the buying side. I'm never actually just selling it for fiat. I'm just buying and selling to stack Bitcoin. So you can see here with this huge engulfing candle, I'm looking for the 4 and 9 to cross over as well. We got one here. Then we got the sell. Then we got the whipsaw kind of here in and out. So with this ascending triangle, and as Willie mentioned, like we are not seeing large amounts of volume, like we're just kind of chopping, and this is kind of what I think will happen. The bounces will get weaker and weaker, as we saw like here. Maybe we'll only come here. They'll kind of get weaker and weaker towards the apex of the triangle, towards the ending of the triangle. And as Willie mentioned as well, if that is the case, that could be a few months. That could be, March, April, May, before we really break out. And if we hold this pattern, maybe we can break up to the upside, and $53,000 would be my target, as I mentioned. If we start breaking, like if we reversed this whole candle from yesterday, I would actually be thinking that we are going to break these lows. So this is a bounce off the trend line. This is a huge daily bullish engulfing candle. So it is actually normal for the price to retrace half of this candle. That's fine, that's normal, but anything more, we're giving it all back to the market, kind of like how we went up here, gave it all back to the market. So if we kind of go up here and give it all back to the market, it's just seeing more sell pressure in my opinion. And then look at where we are in the current, state of the world. I'm actually very surprised Bitcoin's holding 38.9K. You need to take in consideration everything's discounted. The market's already priced how it is. So everything we're seeing right now in terms of pricing is already taking into consideration with what's going on, like inflation at all-time highs, the war, and everything else. Every fucking country attacking Bitcoin or cryptocurrency and throwing regulations now. I mean, just because, in my opinion, of some of the sanctions and things like that. I'm no war expert, so I'll stop right there, but I'm just impressed with what Bitcoin's holding at approximately $40,000 with some of the craziest events that we've never experienced in our lifetimes, and people are questioning it. So if we do see one more capitulation, this would kind of be like the clear zone, the clear buying zone, $29,000. If we got a major capitulation zone, it would be $25,000 for me. That would be my kind of lowest if like shit hit the fan, World War III, like, you know, like just some crazy shit happening. I mean, then I would actually be looking a little bit lower. Hopefully, we wouldn't break 20, but that's like my worst case possible. If we're just looking for a huge capitulation, I think the $30,000 is more than enough, but markets seldom do what most people think, and I think most people have their buying orders here, so we would have to kind of maybe flush a little bit lower, knock those guys out, I mean, induce sellers, short sellers, and then work our way back up. Best case scenario, that does not happen. We break this triangle to the upside, we go to 53K, and I'm a reactive trader. I mean, my analysis will change. If these lows get invalidated, if we break above tomorrow, then I have a different analysis. So, I mean, if you're looking back at this in a week, I have to watch Bitcoin consistently and constantly for me to keep changing my analysis. But as of right now, we're in this huge ascending triangle. We're making higher lows. We're keeping the resistance right here, and I'm watching for what's happening next. I'll make the next move after. I'll keep everybody updated as always. And that is it. Just landed from California, drove from Vegas. It's like 10 p.m. Just, you know, delivering a video. Want to mention the Bitcoin giveaway. Check out the Bitcoin Miami 2022 Ultimate Trip giveaway. You can sign up at Gleam. I'd love to fly one person out. I'd love to fly somebody out and meet you guys there. It's the craziest event in the world, and you guys would enjoy it. Maybe you could change your life as I changed my life at one of these events. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.